What's up, Doug Guidini in the garage. A lot of you know that I like to stay up to date with automotive news, and occasionally I pluck a couple stories from the headlines, bring them over here on YouTube so that we can discuss them in an open forum. Today, I got a couple good stories for you. We're going to talk about California being out California by itself, an exciting new spin on the Jeep Inline 6, an unfortunate death in the Ford family, an update on this out-of-control used car market, GM lighting the world on fire, and what the Stellantis EV day means for your weekend. Let's start where we all love to start. Let's start with the state of California. Starting on July 19th of this year, year of our Lord 2021. The California smog test will now include a search into your computer or car's ECU looking for non-factory tunes. That's right, if you have a tune on your vehicle that is not OEM or supplied by a CARB CARB, California Air Resource Board approved source, your car will fail state inspection. Let that sink in. The last bastion for car tuners and motorheads in this modern world of automotive. You could do something behind that keyboard to get away with it, turn off your knock sensors, delete your cats. Not anymore. California says we're not having it. This is just another step in their never-ending quest to make their state completely uninhabitable due to tyrannical, oppressive laws. Love to know what y'all think about that. Hopefully the other 49 states do not follow suit. That New York does love to keep its nose up California's butt, so I'll bet you New York's going to be next with that. That's not even the most oppressive, terrifying thing I read in the news recently. The EU, the big old super government across the pond there from us, has set a goal for no new internal combustion engines by 2035. If they have their way, by 2035, all new cars will be fully electric. No hybrid, no internal combustion engines. Let that sink in. I'm not even going to offer commentary because it makes me too darn mad to think about it. Y'all leave me a comment down in the squawk boxes. What do you think about California and the European super government coming for our internal combustion engines and our tune? Moving on. I touched on the fact that the used car market is crazy. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but here's a crazy one for you. In Q2 of 2021, Dodge Chrysler Jeep had to resort to selling Dodge Darts, Chrysler 200s, and Jeep Patriots. Why is that newsworthy? Because the Dodge Dart and the Chrysler 200 haven't been made since 2016, and the Patriot hasn't been made since 2017. These were new examples of these vehicles. That means somewhere on a lot somewhere, they had a brand new Dodge Dart, Chrysler 200, Jeep Patriot, probably a dealer or a salesman was driving it, and it got left in the back corner of the lot, and they had so few new cars. We all know because of the global chip shortage, and there's some international logistics stuff. It's very hard to get parts out of China right now. They're resorting to selling 5-year-old quote-unquote new cars. Wild stuff. Wish I could have got my hands on that brand new 17 Patriot. If they'd called me, I would have given them cold hard cash for it because I love me some Jeep Patriot. Moving on. GM lighting the world on fire as usual. If you own a 2017 to 2019 Chevy Bolt, GM suggests that you do not park it inside, you do not charge it overnight, you do not feed it after midnight, and you do not get it wet. Why? Because it will light on fire. For those that don't know, the Chevy Bolt is a fully electric, battery electric. It's really a rebranded Opel Ampera E. It's a tiny subcompact vehicle, fully battery powered, no internal combustion engine in there. But the problem is they've got these faulty batteries from Ochang, South Korea. They put them in there from 2017 to mid-year 2019, at which point they switched to locally sourced Holland, Michigan-made batteries. Now, go figure, the Holland, Michigan ones, no problem, no fire, park it inside, feed it after midnight, do whatever. But if you got one of those Ochang, South Korea, one of them Ching Chong units, you might want to watch out because your Bolt is going to burn to the ground. I hope it doesn't take your garage with it. GM does not have a good solution yet outside of literally just telling you don't park it inside and don't charge it overnight. Nailed it, GM. Let's talk about this crazy used car market. I hit on it already. You can't get new cars. You can't get them. They don't have the chips for them, and even if they had the chips for them, there's no space on a ship to get them from Japan or China or wherever the heck they're coming to here. It's a mess. Thank goodness I don't really, it doesn't affect me. I drive 20-year-old vehicles, and I know most people on this channel do, but the used car market is taking a hit too. Used car prices have gone through the roof, and experts are citing 3 main factors. Number 1, folks are getting them stimmy checks. They keep sending you money. Here you go, buddy. Here's a 600 spot. Here's a 500 spot. What do you want to do with 350? Oh, you got a couple kids? Here's a couple more. And apparently, you all are doing the right thing with that money, and you're going out to buy a used car, and I applaud that. Now, additionally, I already mentioned there's microchip and raw material shortages. That's making it so you can't get a new car, so you got to buy a used car. And then one that is kind of out of left field, if y'all don't know, there's a rental car shortage as well. Here's what happened. Pandemic hits, nobody's traveling, nobody's renting cars. So what do the rental car companies do? They sell off their fleet. They say, screw it, I'm not gonna pay to keep this fleet if no one's gonna rent them. We'll just buy them again when the demand goes up. Well, the demand went up. Just at the same time, there was no chips or raw materials to make the vehicle. So you can't get a rental car. What are you gonna do? People are actually resorting to buying a used car rather than renting a car, and then you just sell it again, I guess. So if you got an old jalopy in the backyard, go out there, get a coat of resale red on there, and see if you can't sell her. Because I'm telling you right now, you're probably looking at about 20 to 30% more than you could have got for her 2 years ago. But here's the catch. This bubble is going to burst at some point. Used car sales prices are not going to stay high because new cars are going to start flooding markets. It's only a matter of time. Chips are going to catch up. International logistics are going to get straightened out. So if you got a used car, go and sell it now. If you have to buy a used car, maybe wait a few months. Maybe after Christmas, everything's going to come on down a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just suggesting maybe. Now, Stellantis recently, if you don't know Stellantis, I'm happy for you and a little bit jealous. I wish I didn't. Stellantis is the ridiculous name they gave to the umbrella that holds Fiat Chrysler America, which is Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Peugeot is mixed in there for some reason now. What else does Fiat own? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Stellantis is the parent company. They recently held an EV day. What was the point of the EV day? Well, Stellantis has been noticeably lacking in electric vehicles compared to, say, your GM or your Toyota. And so they wanted to hold essentially a large press conference to let people know, hey, we aren't all muscle cars and off-road vehicles. We're going to do some EV stuff. Here's what we're going to do. So here's what they announced. First and foremost, underwater Wranglers. That's right. The CEO of Stellantis says that the future of the Wrangler is in a fully submersible vehicle. I'm not making this stuff up. They used an image of a Wrangler fully underwater, and his justification was this. Well, folks are already taking their internal combustion engine Jeeps and fording 40, 50 inches of water. There's that one, was it Roadkill? I don't know. Somebody took a TJ, they put a diesel in it, and they drove it under 30 feet of water. Y'all seen that. So his feeling was the want is there, the desire to be able to drive across the bottom of a pond. The only thing that's blocking you potentially is the fact that your engine needs to breathe, it needs to intake and exhale air. Well, EVs don't need to intake and exhale air, so waterproof them batteries. Put some rocks in the back seat, because we're taking this Wrangler across the river, taking this Wrangler under the river. Moving on from there, they did announce they're going to be introducing 4 different battery platforms with different capacities and ranges, everything from your small subcompact, which is going to go in your Fiat 500, Jeep Compass type vehicles, all the way up to getting, hybrid or fully electric 1500s and the Wagoneer and stuff like that. The 4xe is going to fit in there somewhere, which is of course what they released, the Jeep version of all this. They're looking at about a 300 to 500 mile capacity, which I assume is good. I don't honestly know because I don't really give a darn about EV vehicles, but it sounds pretty good, and they're hoping to be competitive by about 2026, which sounds like a long way off, but it's really only, what are we, almost, a little over 4 years ago. They're hoping to be up to speed. Of course, the companies that are leading the EV market, that's going to be your GM, Ford in a big way. We're about to talk about that. The craziest thing is they said Dodge is going to create the first electric muscle car. That's what they said. Now, I don't know what an electric muscle car really looks like. Ford released the Ford Mustang Mach-E, which I absolutely crapped on when I heard about it, but the wife and I were out about on the Jersey Turnpike the other day, coming back from the shore, and we saw one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good looking car. It looks a hell of a lot better than a Tesla, which looks like a turd mobile to me. I know that's not gonna be a popular take, doesn't matter. moving on. Ford, Dodge electric muscle car. Leave me a comment down in the squawk boxes. What do you think? They didn't say, by the way, but what do you think? Personally, I think it's gonna be an electric Charger, 4-door Charger, but people are suggesting Challenger, something else, who knows? Now, that's a bunch of good news. We got some bad news. There's gonna be a death in the Ford family. This is a vehicle that quietly existed, that did not get enough attention, in my humble opinion, and we didn't appreciate it, and now it's gone. Ford is killing the diesel F-150. They had a Power Stroke F-150 since 2018. It was a 3-liter turbo diesel. It sold relatively well. If you wanted a small pickup that could do big work, it could haul 12,100 pounds. They're replacing it with a 3.5-liter gas hybrid, which actually adds 600 pounds of tow cap. Now, they said they're not killing it because of lack of interest. They're just trying to streamline their line here. A lot of this has to do with the chip thing and availability, and they're just trying to streamline their line of vehicles. They already put the 3.5 hybrid in a bunch of other stuff. It's a bummer though. I think a turbo diesel F-150 is a groovy vehicle. I wish we could get more smaller vehicles, SUVs, with diesels here in the United States. Here's the thing. People like me, and likely you, would buy diesel SUVs, but we're not the ones that buy stuff off the lot. The used market would buy them, but the people who are buying new vehicles, whoever they may be, none of my friends, I don't know, somewhere there's somebody buying new vehicles, it doesn't compute. To Americans that have money for a new vehicle, it doesn't compute to buy something diesel. They think of diesel as being the 18-wheeler, not the thing that gets you to work every day. So another promising North American diesel bites the dust. It's sad. Moment of silence observed. Moving on to what I really wanted to talk about today. Jeep is again bringing up teasers about the new inline six. Now, we've been talking about this for literally years. Literally years. The facts that have remained constant. They're producing, or in production design. They're in the design phase of a new inline 6-cylinder engine to be used in Jeeps. If you are a Jeep fan, you understand why this is a big deal, because the greatest motor that was ever put in a Jeep is the 242 cubic inch inline 4-liter. We love it. Christmas amateur hour. We know it. We love it. We would all love to see another one come back. The one they're teasing now is a 3-liter inline 6 turbo overhead cam. They're calling it the Tornado. Now, the interesting thing about that name is there already was an inline 6 called the Tornado. Started design in the 1950s, came out in 1962. They put it in Jeep trucks. It was a 230 cubic inch, again, overhead cam, which for 1962, pretty wild. It actually replaced the flathead Hurricane that was used in most of the CJs from the end of World War, I think from like 1948 to the time this came out in 62. So they're reusing that name, the Tornado. We're praying that this is true. The word on the street is that it's going to come out as part of a 48-volt mild hybrid setup. That doesn't bother me. That's fine. You want to do that? That's fine. They're suggesting, though, that certain tunes of this turbo 3-liter inline 6 could outperform the 5.7 Hemi. That's just what they said. Don't get mad at me. But what they're talking about right now is having it be in the base motor in the 2022 two-row Grand Cherokee. I hope it's true. Would I love to see a straight 6 in a Grand Cherokee again? Hell yeah, I would. Heck yeah. One that could outproduce the Hemi? Oh, buddy. Come on now. That, I pray, of all this news, good, bad, ugly, in between, I hope that is true. So let me know. What do y'all think? Is California finally lost their mind, or have they been lost their mind? Would you have bought a new, quote unquote, 2016 vehicle in 2021? I would love to know what kind of discounts they gave those people. Do you have one of these Chevy boats, and has it burned your garage down yet? What happens if you get it wet after midnight? Me, myself, and I want to know. Do you have a used car you're trying to sell? Currently, I'm trying to sell a 2001 Hyundai Sonata, and the price just keeps going up. I'm loving it. I'm hoping I can capitalize on this little bubble we got going here. Stellantis EV Day. Would you buy a fully electric Wrangler, and would you drive it under a lake? I guess I want to know. I don't know. If anyone has one of these Power Stroke F-150s. I'd love to know what they were actually like. Supposedly, they were balls to the wall. 12,000 pounds towing cap, 30 miles per gallon on the highway. I'll take it all day. Shame to see her go away. And then, of course, all we've got is speculation on the new inline six, but I'm okay with that. I am perfectly comfortable with taking speculation, hearsay, and half-truths and just sort of running with them. So you heard it here first. 2022, we're getting a new inline six in the Grand Cherokee. Book it. Pre-order now. Leave me a comment down in the squawk boxes. Let me know what news stories you're reading about right now. What did I miss? I don't think I missed anything. I did a pretty thorough search, is what I'm trying to say. Comment down in the squawk boxes, like the video. If you liked the video, that's just common sense. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe check out our website, monkeywithatoolbox.com. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.